everyone kept switching sides on me, and now I ended up with everybody hating me, but they hated me for the July press conference. They thought I was a hero to the right for the first announcement and a coward for the second announcement closing it.
Director James Comey, welcome. Are you ready to sip?
And skim.
Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers.
A lot of people have heard your name. A lot of people know that it's been a crazy 2 years. A lot of people know you were fired. And a lot of people know you have a book out right now. But a lot of people don't necessarily really understand what has happened in the last 2 years and why do so many people hate you exactly. What are the exact reasons? So what I want to do is kind of review the timeline. So we're going to start with the summer of 2015. The FBI announces they're investigating something. What were they investigating?
We were sent what's called a referral from the Inspector General, sending a report to us saying, we think you should take a look at whether Hillary Clinton, in using her unclassified personal email system, was mishandling classified information.
About a year passes. We're now in July 2016. You do what?
I announced the closure of the investigation, the finishing of the FBI's work, and our recommendation that there was no appropriate basis to charge Secretary Clinton with any crimes.
You used very choice wording in that press conference, and there was kind of 2 points of controversy there. One, what did you say? What did you say about Hillary?
I described her conduct as extremely careless. It was obvious she had been very sloppy in handling this, so I thought it's not going to be credible if I'm not honest about how we think about it, and so I described it as extremely careless.
But there was no criminal wrongdoing.
Right, which I then said, but we don't see any evidence that rises to something that a reasonable prosecutor would bring.
Let's move forward to October 2016. We are about 2 weeks or so away from the election.
Yep.
What did you do?
About 11 days before the election, the team that had done the Clinton case, which we thought was over in July, asked to meet with me to tell me there was a guy named Anthony Weiner, and it appeared that on his computer were hundreds of thousands of Hillary Clinton's emails. So they said, we need to reopen this investigation in a really significant way. I could only see 2 options. One was I could tell Congress that what I had said in the summer was no longer true, or I could stay silent about that.
So at this point, do you think it's fair to say that Team Hillary, the left, the people who are really supporting her are like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Heck yeah, I was. I was saying the same thing inside my head and outside my head. This is a nightmare. I don't want to be involved, but we're stuck. So what do we do? And reasonable people would have chosen a different door maybe, but as between speaking, which would be bad, concealing and covering up the fact that what I had said under oath was no longer true would be, to my view, catastrophic. So which do you choose?
March 2017, the FBI makes an announcement.
I confirmed in testimony at the direction of the Department of Justice that we had a counterintelligence investigation open to try and figure out whether any Americans were working with the Russians.
Early May of 2017, let's have another glass
Yes,
of wine.
well, I'll need one here.
Okay, let's do it. You are in California. What happened?
I was talking to a group of employees, and behind them there were big TVs on a wall, and I saw on the screen it said, Comey resigns, and I thought that was a joke. A lot of funny people work in the FBI, and so I turned. I know people don't believe that.
I don't believe it.
There's a lot of hilarity in the FBI, so I turned to my staff and I said, that took a lot of work. And then I kept talking, and then the screens changed a couple minutes later and said, Comey fired. I knew that wouldn't be a staff scam. Then I went into an office to find out what the heck is going on. Turns out I was fired and learned about it on television.
So in June, you talked, and this is June of last year, you go to Congress and you say, hey, that this was actually my notes. I actually gave this to a friend. This is actually what I say happened. What was your goal? What did you want to have happen?
So I knew what they wanted to know. They wanted to know about my interactions with President Trump. And so my goal was to be as complete and transparent with them as possible.
You've said before that you wanted to get a special counsel, an independent special counsel to be appointed. That happened.
Yeah, before I testified, though.
Yes, and that happened, and that is Robert Mueller. So mission accomplished. You got it, that it happened. Are you happy?
Not in the least bit. I think it's a terrible, our country's in a very difficult situation right now. I'm not happy that I'm no longer at the FBI. I'm not happy on a whole bunch of levels. Happy personally, but not happy because of any of that.
Are you a whistleblower?
That's a good question. Maybe in a sense, because I spoke out about something that I had seen that was inappropriate. So maybe in a sense, I actually don't think of myself that way, but maybe in a sense.
When history looks back, when kids study the election of 2016 in textbooks 50 years from now, what is the line about you going to be? Who are you in history?
I suppose it is, I hope it is, an FBI director and an FBI that was stuck in the middle of something and faced incredibly difficult choices and acted in a way people would want them to. We were thoughtful and careful and agonized over the choices that we made.